Hi everyone and welcome. The Helicoprion has reached official and I am 2 days late, but whatever, let's talk about a couple of things anyway. So I have checked out Helicoprion before, back when Garuga first updated a mod with a couple of new features, a new saddle and eye textures, and new abilities. I've already done all that in the past, so first things first, I'm going to talk about the new features as of it coming to official. So first things first, for those who are not completely familiar, the Helicoprion's main thing is that it's an organic industrial grinder, so it can grind items and it can also convert items into blueprints, only non-crafted items, so those that you loot. And one of the official changes is that now the success rate is capped up to 90. You can never have 100% success rate without changing the ini config. There is a whole bunch of new ini configs which I'll go through in a bit, and I'll also post them on the comment section, that way you can just copy the text directly. But in terms of this one in particular, to get past the maximum success rate, you need to change the ini config file. So in terms of official, you are capped at 90% total potential. So that means a 90% chance to convert your item into a blueprint and a 10% chance to outright fail and lose the item entirely. So it's a bit of a gamble. Now, another new addition to the official version of the Helicoprion is it now has raft modes like the Dinosuchus. So what raft mode is, if I just get out of here, there you go. So generally speaking, all aquatic creatures in the game, they can pitch. They can go up and down and, you know, proper zero gravity environments. But to go into raft mode, if I hit C, I think, there you go, it's activated raft mode. And it kind of clamps you to the surface of the water. But what's really handy about it with Helicoprion in particular is that this will give you a surface swimming boost. So how much? It just said the speed is boosted. This gives you 30% additional movement speed bonus. And then once I leave out of it by hitting C again, it'll give me a 20-second duration after I've exited that raft mode. So just to demonstrate, we're going to wait for it to run out. In 3, 2, 1, and it is notably slowed down, but not by too much. Helicoprion has a decent base speed anyway. But now if I go back up again and hit C to clamp, and yeah, you can see that it is indeed quite a bit faster. Now also, if I have to breach one in raft mode, I am supposed to replenish stamina. So I think that might be spacebar. Whee! And yeah, that's supposed to give me stamina back. So hold on, I'm at 1900. It does! Oh, okay, it gives me about 100 stamina per jump if I'm understanding this correctly. And that's a cool little bonus. Not to mention, it just looks really cool. Whee! Now, I just want to find out, is that only in raft mode? So I'm exited, but I'm still at the surface. So it's only in raft mode that you can do that. So basically, oh, that's actually really interesting. If I have to now toggle auto running, and I've got my hands off the keyboard, it is now just auto running, and every now and then, I can just sit back, and just keep hitting the space bar if I wanted to, or maybe just go AFK and come back, and it will actually gain stamina while it's sprinting away. So, not bad. That's handy. And that definitely was not in the modded version. Oh, that's a majestic shot. Now, another new benefit, I don't think this is in the modded version, this is of the official version. The bite for Helicoprion damages armor in a similar way to Arthropleura spits. Now, I don't really have a method in which I can test that, it's more of a multiplayer thing. I suppose, actually let's find out for a second. Let's just put you on passive then, and I've got my flak armor, so if I were to get like a wild one, now they are passive by default, these are very chill sharks, or more ratfish accurately. If I were to first of all kill you. Stupid Megalodon, I wish you there weren't so many of you. So, if I were to punch you, whee! Now, this should chew through, oh it does, it massively chews through your armor. Bearing in mind I'm in primitive gear right now, but you can see, yeah, just like Arthropleura. So you want to watch out for these then, you don't want to attack them while they're, oh hello. Well, you don't want to attack them in the wild or let them hit you, which you have to be careful about because during the taming process, if you do mess up the taming, I think they do attack you. So that could actually prove to be very devastating. And in addition to that, the general left click, the typical bite, does also bypass 20% of armor as well. So not only does Helicoprion damage armor, but it also bypasses it, and it does up to 20% extra damage onto, I assume, tames, onto players, both wild and tamed. Otherwise, I do believe the rest of the features, and like general taming mechanics and everything else, or the utility and abilities, I do believe the rest of that all stems from the modded version, the original version. So I've just finished going through all the new official editions, except for the config. So like I said, there is now a whole bunch of brand new custom config. And you can add all of these into the game user settings.ini under new brackets ARK_editions. And like I said, all these new config options I will add as a comment down below so that you can just select them and copy paste them. Thank you so much to a very cool friend who I believe wants to be anonymous for giving me all this information. Absolute legend. These new configs include the ability to convert to blueprints, so if you don't like the blueprint conversion system, you can disable it. The ability to convert quality, so it stops being able to convert up to a certain quality tier of item. Say you only want players to be able to convert primitive and ramshackle, but not ascendant, for example. Also the ability to convert tech, this by default is disabled, which means that you cannot convert tech in official, but you have the option to should you want to. Also the ability to convert crafted as well. You cannot convert crafted in official, but again you can change that. You can also give it the ability to refund some resources, so get some resources back when breaking down an item. You can also determine how many crafts the converted blueprint will have. That's cool, that's actually a really unique one, so you can make these blueprints like really limited. Ah. You can also blacklist certain items. The default is a lasso and the MOMI from Extinction, so those are blacklisted from this. You can't convert those into blueprints in official. And you can also, like I mentioned earlier, cap the success rate. And in regards to how that numerically works, I'll show it on screen here. Again, thank you tremendously so much to my friends. Really big help. Now then, with all of the new goodies out of the way, for anyone who's not actually seen this before, so how do you tame Helicoprion? Now these are a late game tame and they cannot be tamed until level 91, and their saddles are also unlockable at level 91. So I do believe that like other Garuga Arc-ascended creatures, you actually have to be the level. It's not a case of just unlocking the saddle, but you have to be the level in the first place. So once you hit level 91, in the cooking pot, you'll need to make little ratfish treats. These require ammonite bile, Tuso tentacles, and giant bee honey. Now, quick disclaimer, I did spawn this level 100 because this is just a quick little guide. These spawns are really bad lately. There's Megalodon everywhere, so I've done a dino wipe, spawned this one in, and got myself some shark repellent from the Sunken World editions because the Megalodon are pissing me off. So, I don't know if Helicoprion would normally spawn here, but it's an ocean tame. Chances are they just spawned somewhere in the ocean. You've got to take a while and look for one. Now then, the way that you tame these is you chuck down any non-crafted item. So I've gone to a couple of supply crates and just grabbed a whole bunch of random items, and the quality does not matter. So I'm going to begin with a apprentice stone pick, and I'm going to wait for this Helicoprion to come over and chew on it. And while it's chewing on it, I need to mount it and hold on for dear life, as we can see here. So it's going to thrash around and try to throw me off. And it's going to show some input keys I need to then follow. Where it says wait for the Helicoprion to become tired, I need to hold S to stay on, or press S to stay on. He is now yeeting about, I need to hold A. I keep saying hold, I need to press A, I'm sorry. Gotta press A, gotta press S. And as you can see, it's really quite straightforward. It's kind of like a fishing game, but, you know, just fun. I quite like this, he does move around quite a lot. Garuga's done a very good job with this, where all the animations are based on root motion. And basically, if I understand that correctly, what that means is that the animations are really big and dramatic, but it doesn't show the actual point of origin of the creature. In other words, when it flings into the surface of the water or against a rock, the creature isn't actually there, it will not get meshed. So you should be pretty safe throughout this entire endeavor. And yeah, like I said, just... And there you go, press E to feed, and that is one entire round. Give it a ratfish treat, and it is currently at 12.9% effectiveness, or avidity. Level 100 on ×1 default single player rates. Let's give you a genuine flak chest piece. I gave you an apprentice stone pickaxe. Let's give you a genuine flak chest piece. Just gonna wait for it to turn around and come chew on it, and we repeat the entire process again. Here we go then. It was only about a, what, 10-second pause. Go ahead and mount up, and yep, like I said, we do the entire thing again. So all in all, a very straightforward tame, thankfully. And yep, like I said, even though it's kind of scraping the surface of the water, it's a whole big root motion thing, and it will not clip out, which I know can be very alarming when it's doing all of that, but it's Garuga. Garuga cooks. So yeah, you should be safe and fine, or at least your Helicoprion should be safe and fine while doing all of this. And fun fact, if you were to do this in camera mode or something, I mean, it'd be a terrible idea, but if you were to pause and look in camera mode, your player, which is currently held onto the left fin, does actually sway around, and you can really see that your player is holding on for dear life throughout this entire adventure. It's quite fantastic. And is now tired, you're going to hit E to feed it, and otherwise the taming is now at 25%. So as you can see, the quality of the item does not matter, it just has to be non-crafted. And it really is just rinse and repeat, so I'm going to go ahead and get it tamed up, and now we have our brand new Helicoprion. Now then, in addition to all the fancy new things I mentioned earlier, again going over things in case you're seeing Helicoprion for the first time, the left click is a bite attack, and the bite, as mentioned earlier, ignores 20% of armor on attacks, so it's really quite crunchy. The right click is a tail slap, and this tail slap deals torpor that scales with melee. It also stuns creatures that are smaller than, I think it's basilos, plesiosaurs, mosasaurs. Yeah, it's based on drag weight. I don't know what the drag weight number is, but yeah, smaller creatures in general, including other megalodons. So this could be really good in the ocean caves. Now C, as we've already seen, once we hit the surface of the water, C enables raft mode, which gives me a movement speed buff of up to 30%, allows me to jump to regain stamina, and then I can come back out again. And otherwise, I think ability-wise, that is pretty much it, but it is worth noting that Helicoprion is meant to be a Tuso counter. So as we can see in the buffs here, or actually in my buffs, Divine Spiral. Helicoprion is giving you ink and bile immunity. This makes you immune to Tuso, so Tuso Grab, Tuso Ink, and Ammonite Ink as well. So you don't get affected by the, you know, the big aggression rare flower thing. If I go ahead then and just quickly get ourselves a Tuso, level 100 Tusos, go on and demonstrate real quick. We're just gonna go, actually just gonna attack it in general. And as you can see as well, the Helicoprion does additional damage to Tusos. And let's try stunning it. Yeah, stunning it doesn't work, but it does do a lot of damage. Big slap of damage, 524. I believe the Helicoprion also takes less damage from the Tuso as well. So altogether, that makes Helicoprion the perfect Tuso farmer. So it's very handy that it, you know, requires a couple of Tuso tentacles to get your first one. You got to kill a couple to get the Ratfish treats and then tame one. Because after that, you can then use Helicoprion to keep on farming more and more and more. And that damage bonus does count against alpha Tusos as well. And let's just demonstrate with an alpha. And yep, as you can see, I am doing maximum damage. Oh, I did not mean to do that. I was going to try pump a couple levels into melee. There you go. Just to show that it carries on scaling, and I can slap it a couple of more times just for the extra damage. And otherwise, yeah, this is pretty damn safe. I mean, I am taking regular damage. I'm not a primitive saddle. But this is a very good creature to farm Tusos with. Just gotta make sure you actually level it, unlike what I've done. And otherwise, the main draw to the Helicoprion, which I'm sure is the thing that most people are looking forward to, like go around and just pump a whole ton of levels into success rate. These guys, like I said earlier, are the organic grinders of the sea and also blueprint converters. So I've currently got 50% success rate. If I just chuck in, say, this apprentice, Danasuka Saddle, and hit convert to blueprint, take about 1.5 minutes. The high quality of the items, so, you know, primitive, ramshackle, apprentice, journeyman, mastercraft ascended, the higher quality, the longer it takes. I think it's 30 seconds per, like, quality type, I think. And while it's doing this, I cannot access the Helicoprion at all. I can't open its inventory, I can't mount it, it's just here doing its own thing. Oh, that's a thing to bear in mind. It can get attacked during this, and it won't defend itself. So you do want to be a little bit mindful of that. And now time to find out if our blueprint was successful. Oh no, it broke, and it kept the sound. I did not think it'd keep the sound. Well, unfortunately, that's what you get for a 50% success rate. I lost my pre-made Danasukas saddle, so, you know, that's just how it happens. Can I get a fishing rod blueprint? No, actually you can't. Oh, that's good to know. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, that's the gist of it, really. Just imagine I got lucky and it worked the first try. That would have been awesome. Right then, otherwise, I do believe that is everything with the brand new official Helicoprion. One more thing, the armored variant. Some of you may remember that Garuga had made an armored variant for the mods. That will remain modded. The armored variant is not coming to official. To my knowledge, none of the variants are coming to official entirely. So things like Woolly Bracky or Scorched Acro, none of those are coming to official. But Garuga has mentioned in his server that for the armored Helicoprion, he is considering making it into a cosmetic. Now I say considering because he is a very busy man, so, you know, hopefully someday. If not, then, you know, it is what it is, but just remember that it's not coming to official. It'll only be a costume at best. Though I'll admit it's a very cool one. Right, I think that is everything. Thank you all so much for watching, hope you've enjoyed it. And again, very, very big thank you to my friend for just helping provide all the information. I wasn't going to make a video originally, but turns out there's a couple of new changes, and that's always worth, you know, talking about and, you know, getting everyone up to speed with. Right, yes, sorry, I was looking at the saddle there. Thank you so much. Take care and have a wonderful day. Cheers.